There's a song in Les Mis that's called Can You Hear the People Sing?
Can you?
Well, I think in Les Mis, Les Miserables, it's Can You Hear the Wallets Ka-ching? Because this is a year-end movie that is made to blow your socks off. It is invented to steamroll you into rousing ticket-buying action, into award-winning action. Can you tell from this setup? It did not do it for me.
I can tell.
This is a beloved musical that was on stage for years and years and years. This has been adapted by Tom Hooper, the guy who did The King's Speech. He has Anne Hathaway in it. He has Hugh Jackman in it. He's got Eddie Redmayne, Amanda Seyfried. He has all of these people warbling, singing, weeping, telling the story of Victor Hugo's 19th century tragedy in Paris. When you talk about something being in your face, this was shot in the faces of the actors. It's shot in the faces of the audience. It is demanding to be big, and it's not. And so every time he was asking me to do something, I kept backing off and saying, prove it to me. Show me why I should be moved.
Well, you know,
I am a Grinch.
Lisa, I had mixed feelings about Les Mis as well, although I think for different reasons than you did. I don't kind of get your go for your wallets criticism because that sounds kind of cynical. The movie's trying to be successful, but mostly I think what it's trying to do is overwhelm you with emotion. It wants to be a big, transporting musical. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's an early scene where it does that, which is the scene where Anne Hathaway sings "I Dreamed a Dream."
We need to
I
talk
think
about
it
that.
is a fantastic scene. It's a song that I never even knew. I've never seen the show.
You obviously don't know Susan Boyle winning her
everyone
awards
else,
for that, right?
That's where I first saw that song. I think it is one of the few really good songs in the musical. I think Anne Hathaway's performance of it is transcendent. I really do. But you know what? That's part of the problem with the movie because it peaks a little bit early. That comes very early on.
And you have another 2 hours to go.
You have a long time to go. And then there's a certain point where you've been watching this story of these kind of impoverished people, and then the movie just kind of starts over again in this tale of these young revolutionaries who reminded me of college newspaper editors. And you have these young lovers who don't come in for like an hour and a half of the movie, played by Eddie Redmayne and Amanda Seyfried. And they were fine, they were charming, but they seemed very much like the generic young lovers out of a musical. And I felt like this film was coming at you in two great big halves that didn't necessarily go together.
Well, one thing about the song that you're talking about, which is a showstopper. It clearly is meant to be a showstopper. It's like Jennifer Hudson singing her song. It's made to win awards. I felt she was Liza Minnelli. I felt she was warbling.
Oh, what's wrong with that?
Because it's not, in and of itself, that's not the movie. Why are you spending all of this time with her milking this song in such a way? It just felt...
Well, I think part of what you're saying is that the central story in this, which is about Hugh Jackman becoming this very good man who protects his adopted daughter, Amanda Seyfried, and Russell Crowe as Javert.
We need to talk about Russell Crowe
coming after him. Now, I liked Russell Crowe in it. I think that he can't sing that well, but I thought he made that part of the character. This guy is this prosaic person who's going to keep coming at you. He's not a great singer, but I thought that Russell Crowe had force in the role.
Oh, I felt like he looked like a pained man, and I don't mean a pained man because Javert is intent on pursuing Jean Valjean to the ends of the earth, but I think he was pained because he was stuffed into a suit that he didn't belong in. He had to wear a silly little Captain Puffin-Stuff hat. He had to sing stupid... The other thing I have to say, the music is not great. There are 2 or 3 good songs in this. It's a sung-through musical, and it's very wan. It's not a great musical.
That's where I really, really do agree with you in the sense that I actually think that the direction of this movie is very good. I like the way they opened it up to naturalistic spaces. I like the fact that it's...
Naturalistic? If the room's on an angle?
No, I thought that the settings and all of that seemed very, for a musical, pretty real. I liked that it's live singing. I thought that that was an exciting idea for how to do a musical. But the bottom line is you have 2.5 hours of mostly unmemorable music, these sort of pleasant non-melodies that blend into each other. I Dreamed a Dream really does stand out, but I wanted 3 or 4 more songs that good. I wanted that song to come back at the end in a way that it doesn't. I feel like the film, for all of its ambition, doesn't totally hang together.
No, I agree with you completely, and that is partially the problem with the show itself. But okay, if you're taking on this show, then it's up to the director to tie it together, and I think Tom Hooper was not the man for the job. I felt we had individual performances working in different corners. I'm not saying I was miserable watching Les Mis, but I'm saying I was unmoved.